We're calling the meeting to order. So take roll. Pat Katina.
Present.
Gail Moss.
Present.
Tracy Royston.
Present.
Beth Lazara. Terry Klein.
Present.
Abaz Kamara. Kevin Kraus.
Present.
Rich Fitzgerald.
Steve Polarski for Rich Fitzgerald.
My name is Maisha Howes, and I am the Assistant Deputy Director with the Office of Behavioral Health, the Bureau of Drug and Alcohol Services. We wanted to come today just to give a brief update about MAT, specifically methadone, in the jail. We know that a lot of people who have a current, specifically opioid use disorder, when they leave the jail, they have a high probability of overdosing and even fatally. If they came into jail and they were on methadone, we can continue that service for them. And I'm going to pause at this point, and Dr. Brinkman will talk a little bit about the work around jail security and other logistics within the jail.
So what we're looking at is, upon booking in intake, being able to start that medication verification process, because it can be a little bit timely, and we only have a short window to be able to make sure that the patients will have access to their next dose.
How can you guarantee it's going to be a speedy reconnection on the front end? I mean, obviously, we've seen lapses before, unfortunately.
We have a daily process in place of any new admissions so that we can plan for those new admissions having the delivered medications on site.
I think the process sounds great to me. It's the execution piece that I duly worry about, obviously.
Hi, I'm Jonas Caballero. I just want to make sure the camera sees my gorgeous sign here. Yeah, there we go. I'm a survivor of the Allegheny County Jail. This comment is for Mr. Rich Fitzgerald. I don't have my glasses on, but can somebody point him out for me, please? No, he's not here today. I'm not surprised. He hasn't shown up for a JOB meeting since July 1st of 2021. I wanted to comment on Mr. Fitzgerald's despicable attempt to replace Terry Klein as the citizen member of the JOB. It is absurd and infuriating that Mr. Fitzgerald is trying to replace Miss Klein with William Stickman III, and I am not making this up, who is an actual former warden and DOC director. The statute states that citizen members shall not be employees of the Commonwealth and shall include persons whose backgrounds and experiences indicate that they are qualified to act in the interest of the public. There should be different sorts of people who fill the citizen member positions, whether they are formerly incarcerated, people from advocacy or abolition organizations, hey, perhaps even a medical or mental health specialist, folks who are truly qualified to act in the interest of the public. Rich Fitzgerald should be ashamed of himself for his blatant and unapologetic attempt to pack the board with cronies who clearly do not have the public interest at heart.
Yeah, I'd like to present to the board a collaborative approach to addressing the immediate staffing crisis at ACJ. With ACJ's need to comply with the referendum and the loss of staff because of the pandemic, the staffing problem at ACJ has reached a new crisis. It has become too large for one department or the county to solve on its own.
Good afternoon. I come back again this month to talk about staffing. I want to thank John for his amazing analysis of what we need at that jail. Unfortunately, the county manager does not share your concerns. They shut down retention bonuses, recruitment bonuses, stuff like that. But I do appreciate you bringing that up. Also, I had offered to participate to assist in recruiting, yet I haven't received any information. So it doesn't seem like there's a plan in recruiting officers. I think medical staffing is also important. I listened to the presentation from Dr. Brinkman about methadone. I have a real concern about that because 13 shifts in February on 11 to 7, we either had no medical or mental health staffing in intake. Either one or both, no staffing. at all in intake. So I don't know how we're going to do effective questioning about methadone and Suboxone when we don't have the people to do this. It's been brought to my attention. We're passing methadone on the 3 to 11 shifts. We haven't been trained to do that. I brought my concern to Dr. Brinkman. She advised me she's not in my chain of command. Go to my staff. My staff have no idea. They said, we don't know what to do. Don't take this as a management labor grievances. We have a policy and we follow that. We met with Steve yesterday. This is beyond labor management grievances. They refuse to, my bosses refuse to communicate in email or respond. We only communicate in person. My last time I had a one-on-one with my boss, he called me a liar. That was the end of that conversation. As a result of these issues and our inability to safely do our jobs, officers in the jail have put forth a vote of no confidence in our warden and his administration, just due to the fact that we lack staffing for our safety. There's no plan to get staffing. We lack training for our safety. We lack medical for inmate safety, which puts us as first responders. This has been ongoing for years, and the officers have put forth that motion, and I'm going to consider it. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
There were a number of public comments that were received via email. The jail's understaffed. There'll be even fewer COs able to help with essential tasks like supervision, recreation time. So the question basically is concerning your ability to recruit guards, correctional officers, and or appropriately staff the jail. Was that something you'd like to respond to?
The only thing I'm going to say about that is that we're actively recruiting, and if anybody know of anybody that would love to be a correction officer at our jail, please have them go to the website, fill out the application.
I heard a few repeating things that seemed to go throughout all of the comments here, and one of them obviously was staffing, the staffing involved. And Warden, can you tell me how many vacancies we have in the Corrections Department?
I don't have that information readily available, Mr. Katana, but I can get that to you.
Okay. Do you know, Brian?
Right now, we have 378 full-time officers, with 80 of them being cadets.
I'm sorry. Well,
we're short at least 50 officers. At least 50.
Okay. Thank you. Warden, how many vacancies are there in the medical and mental health care departments?
I don't have that information readily available at this time, Mr. Katana.
Okay.
As part of our board packet, there is a list of ACJ vacancies, so you have that information.
Is that I guess I was confused because that doesn't, I don't think that jives with the other numbers that I've seen. And that's why I was questioning that. Because I'm a numbers person, the numbers just don't make sense to me, so that's why I was questioning the fact. I understand you had an executive session today, but to the general public, I mean, we talked about the staff shortages, and we know there's medical personnel shortages and what have you. I guess, what are we doing to correct any of this and make sure the inmates are getting their, medications on time is the bottom line? Anyone can answer that. I mean,
Mr. Katana, we do everything in our power to make sure that our incarcerated individuals get their medications. Now, it may not be on time because we do encounter some staffing issues, but we do everything in our power to make sure that they get the medications that they're required to get. And my staff do a real good job doing that.
I appreciate everything that your staff does, Warden, but again, I've heard gotten lots of complaints about it not happening in a timely fashion.
Mr. Katana, I just said it again. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes it don't.
Is there something we can do better?
Give me more nurses.
Is there a reason? I mean, you're smiling, so is there something else you want to say?
No, it's not anything else I want to say. Just like we've been saying this, I'm not going to be talking about staff.
When you say give me more, what do you mean?
What I'm saying, Mr. Katana, I'm not going to continue to talk about staffing issues in this setting. But what I'm saying is we do everything in our power to provide the medications in a timely fashion, and sometimes medications are late. And I'm just going to leave it at that.